Hey everybody, thanks for checking in. This is Mr. Hoig with the inspirational video of the day. Today my guest speaker is Coach Bruce Henderson. He coached girls cross country, girls track, and he taught middle school math at Atlantic for 37 years. Was an incredible teacher. I had the privilege of having him. One of my favorites, although I had a ton of great teachers and great coaches. And he's one of the most successful girls coaches, probably one of the most successful track coaches in the state. I was looking up some of his records just to make sure. I will probably miss some. Dozens of cross-country conference titles and state appearances. And in girls track, this is an amazing stat. From 1980 to 2003, only 2 of those years, they did not win the conference title in girls track under Coach Henderson. That's really impressive. They also won 7 3A state titles, including 6 in a span of 7 years. Absolutely incredible. A lot of records broken during those years as well. And the little story I wanted to tell about Coach Henderson that kind of tells you the type of guy he is, and I really think all successful leaders have this, and it doesn't matter if, like Mr. Henderson, they're a great track coach, or like I talked about with Coach Schelling, or any of the coaches that I've ever had. Coach Blazek, I haven't had him on yet. I'm trying to get him. But they all care so much. And a little story that will kind of explain what I mean by that is I get done running a JV mile, and I'm, dead tired, and I'm slow. And Coach Henderson comes up to me. He says, "Hoig, great run. That's pretty close to a PR, right?" And I said, "Yeah, it was like 3 seconds off." And he's like, "Tremendous job. That third lap, I think you're just a little too comfortable. Don't be comfortable. Push through that pain. I think you'll break your PR next week." And it didn't really strike me until I became a track coach and a coach and a teacher. This is a Hall of Fame coach with 7 state titles. He does not coach me, and he knew my PR. Part of that is because he's a kind of a genius and he loves track, but part of it is just he cared. He cared enough to come up to me and tell me that I was very close to a PR. I bet I wasn't even top 5 in that race, and he still thought it was important to tell me, "Great job. I can get my PR the next week." That's the type of guy he is. Thank you so much, Coach Henderson, for sending me this video. It is a terrific one. Great lessons in it. This is Coach Henderson with the inspiration of the day.
Hi, I'm Bruce Henderson. One of my claims to fame is I had all the Hoyt kids in math or sports or both. In 1966, I graduated from Outer High School. 12 years later, a farm girl from Beaconsfield graduated from Outer. Her name was Peggy Whitson. She grew up to be an astronaut. She was the first female commander of the International Space Station. In all, she spent 665 days in space. A couple years ago, the Register did an interview with her upon her retirement. They asked her what was the keys to her success. She listed 4 things. I will focus on 2 of these. These are hard work and must be willing to go outside her comfort zone. Hard work. She was a farm girl, duh. When I started coaching, I could tell the farm kids from the town kids. They had to do chores. They'd clean hog pens. They'd put up hay bales. Probably not quite so true anymore. But I would mention one thing on hard work. In early 80s to about 2005, Atlantic Girls Athletic Program had a lot of success. The key component was the girls worked hard year-round. We believed and said that average athletes who work hard can beat athletes with natural ability who do not. The girls bought into this. During this time, a rival coach used to say, "Oh, I just don't have the talented athletes you have there in Atlanta." Coach Jenkins and I would secretly laugh at this comment. You see, their athletes were just as good as ours in middle school. Ours improved due to the hard work, and it showed up. Second thing was they need to go outside your comfort zone. Social distancing is very popular now. My 8th graders socially distanced from me probably most of my 37 years of teaching. You know, being around me was not their comfort zone at that time in their life. You know, I'm glad that many teachers, 8th graders, were out of their comfort zone. They didn't want to have any part of teaching it. I am glad and thank God I stepped out of my comfort zone and had 37 years of enjoyable time teaching those 8th graders. Wouldn't have wanted to teach anything else. Most freshman athletes still did social distancing. I can remember they were a little out of their comfort zones. They hadn't quite matured to talk to an adult yet. And I can remember I'd say things like, well, we're going to run you on the 4x400 relay Friday. And they would give me this look like they lost their best friend. You know, but during the time in high school, most of them, incidentally, I think anybody's run the 400, it's out of quite a few people's comfort zone. But they went from this look to maybe by their seniors saying, what am I running? You know, what am I going to be running? And I've always said it's good for parents to say, good luck. It's good for coaches to say, make it happen. And you people that have coached and been good competitors know what I'm saying. Seniors didn't social distance from me. If they hadn't got out of their comfort zone, they'd quit track by now. They asked questions, they volunteered to help younger kids, and they made it happen. Even now, when they come back to town, see them and want to hug that person that they used to social distance from. My dad used to say on this subject, how do you know that you don't like it unless you try it? And he was a big one on that. One other thought before I leave this subject. Sometimes you miss a lot if you don't go outside your comfort zone and interact with people who are not like you. My dad interacted with everybody. God has blessed me in many ways. One of these that I've had a lot of friends and positive people in my life who I deal with, and they're not necessarily white people from the Midwest. So I've been blessed there. One last bit of advice. Tell the truth always, and do not take shortcuts. I don't want to spend my life, and you don't want to spend your life, looking over your shoulder and being scared of what might come out. In closing, I'd say I had many positive interactions with the Hoyks. I'm going to have to give Jerome as the number one Hoyk for one simple reason. He's a track coach. Thank you for letting me do this.